Hello, welcome back to the Girl Math Podcast. I am Kori Blonde, your host, and today it is Self-Care Sunday. Can we talk about stress? I don't know if you ever get this feeling, but you know you're stressed, but you don't feel stressed. I have been going through a hell of a lot of stress that I've probably put upon myself, others have put upon me. I just feel like it's really taking a toll on my physical health. A little story time for you guys. I ended up in A&E this week at 6 a.m. in the morning because I convinced myself the night before I was having a bleed in the brain. And call me crazy, but my hypochondria has never been this bad in my life. It's to the point where when I went home, my mum was like, Kori, are you sure you're okay? You're like genuinely worrying over the smallest things. Because when I went there, I felt so fatigued. Well, to be honest with you, I'll give you a bit of a backstory. I hit my head like right here a couple months ago, and I wasn't too worried about it at first because I was like, oh yeah, people hit their heads all the time. And then obviously it went like purple, blue, red, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when I read into it more, because I kept having weird symptoms months down the line, and I've been suffering with like ringing in one ear, even though it was the other side of the ear. I'm pretty sure that was from swimming, but I don't know. And I've had pressure in my head. I've had like headaches a lot of the time. And yeah, just all these like crazy symptoms. And then I started searching it up this week, and I ended up calling 111 in the nighttime because I was like, I am actually scared because every time I lay down, I have pressure in my head. Every time I get up, I have pressure in my head. Every time I lean down, I have pressure in my head. And it's like, I can't escape this pressure in my head, and I'm starting to worry. And obviously I get dizzy a lot as well, but I don't know. Half of this could be anxiety. Half of this could be made up in my head. Half of this could just be because I'm an over worrier and over panicker, or I could actually be dying. But like, I don't know, because my dad also had a brain hemorrhage. My family are very cautious of brain injuries and things like that. And I was terrified for my life. And I thought, oh my God, this is it. This is how I go. This is actually how I go. And the following morning I got booked in with my GP, and then she started to worry me because she was like, Kori, all the symptoms you've given me, I'm really worried. I think you should go straight to A&E and then request a brain scan or whatever. And then obviously I went to A&E and they rushed me to the emergency care where I started panicking. I hate hospitals, bear in mind. I hate hospitals. As does everyone. I'm sure no one likes hospitals, but as soon as I go into a hospital, I want to go straight back out. I don't want to be there, especially A&E, because it's like everyone is sick there, and I'm probably going to do myself more harm than good by going there because I'll probably catch something else that I wasn't supposed to anyway. When I first got to A&E, it said a 9.5 hour wait, and I was like, we love the NHS, we love it, we love it, we love it. And if I'm dying, if I'm bleeding out right now, at least I'm in A&E waiting, you know, at least I'm in the line. So I'm sitting there waiting, and then my name got called by 5 minutes in, and I was like, that was quick. Am I just priority or something? Anyway, they sit me down in this little room. They take my temperature, and I've never had this experience before, so I don't actually know. I thought that when the lady put the thermometer in my mouth that it wasn't clean, and then I started panicking that it wasn't clean, and I was texting my friends frantically because they weren't up at this time. I was like, oh my God, guys, I think she's just put a dirty thermometer in my mouth. I'm actually going to die. I'm going to get someone else's diseases before it, because I saw a guy before me put that same thermometer in his mouth, and I'm going to die. Oh my God, I'm going to catch, like, I was like panicking. And then she took my blood pressure and she was like, you need to go to urgent care. I was like, I need to go to urgent care. Oh my God. I get to the urgent care. It's a lot quieter. So I'm like, oh, this is quite nice. But I assume that they put me there because it was a head problem. And obviously I'd stated all my symptoms. Like I hit my head and I get dizzy and da, da, da. And bear in mind, during all of this, I've been told recently that my short-term memory loss is awful. Like I cannot even remember what I did yesterday half the time. So obviously I'm starting to worry, and I'm convincing myself. Anyway, I'm sitting in the waiting room and I'm like, okay, if it's not anything to do with the brain, what could it be? It could be TMJ. I clench my jaw a lot. I'm anxious a lot. Could very well much be that, because I got all the symptoms of that, like shooting pains in my head, pressure behind my eye, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, I've got that. And then I was like, you know what, let's just go in and see. I get the most bubbly doctor. Like we're having bants, we're joking around. Like I get to the point though where I'm in the consultation. I'm like, we actually kind of need to take this seriously. Like we actually need to kind of take this seriously. And I feel like with doctors, they kind of just dismiss you. They kind of just go, oh no, you're fine. Like you're just overthinking it. But like, obviously he took my blood pressure, which was completely normal, which is a good sign, because if your blood pressure is too high, then that's a sign that something's going on in the head as well. So that's a plus, and that's obviously one of the main reasons he wasn't concerned. Looked to my eyes, they were fine. Did an eye test, they were fine. And then we started talking about like anxiety, and it ended up being a therapy session. Like I was just like, why am I, what, I came here for my head, not my anxiety. But like, then that had me thinking, okay, do I really have a problem? Am I really overthinking this? Am I just anxious? Am I just making this up in my head? But then I was like, wait, no, I know my body. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm experiencing things that I haven't really experienced ever before. And should I just dismiss this? Should I go get a brain scan? Should I still question it? Because he said if you still feel like this in 2 weeks, then come back, obviously. But that was my story time anyway about going to A&E. But I feel like I love a joke. I love a joke in a serious situation. So it kind of helps me. It put me at ease. But then I kind of realized I probably shouldn't be doing this, because if it was, God forbid if it was a bad situation that I was in with my own health, and like we kind of just joked about it and dismissed it, like God forbid, where would that end up? Where would I end up? Do you hear what I'm saying? But I don't know how far comedy is going to get me in serious situations. I really don't. We will see. It could just be me overthinking it. But obviously I've had really mad symptoms leading up to this, like ringing in my ear, absolute fatigue, like on the floor fatigue. Like I've never felt that before. I could just have COVID. I'm trying to tell myself that, even though I do a COVID test every other week, it seems like now. I never used to be like this, and I don't know why it is. Well, I do know why it is. I think it's because I'm stressed. And I know that when stress elevates, hypochondriacs elevate, okay? We rise up. I get super anxious over everything. Because a part of me had accepted my fate when I was in A&E, because I was like, if this is how I go, this is how I go. I'm over it anyway. But then a part of me was like, no, I want to live. Like, I want to actually be here. And I was just like so conflicted in myself. I was like, what is actually happening? Because you might listen to this and think, Kori, you're going crazy. You're actually crazy. Like, why did you end up in A&E? I never, ever, ever have gone to A&E in my life. I kid you not, actually, once. Like, I rarely go to A&E. Just put it that way. I've only been to A&E once in my life because I had glandular fever this one time. But, oh my God, like, I don't ever take myself anywhere unless I seriously think I need to. So that's when I started questioning, okay, should I really get this checked more? And thing is with the head, I think that's not really something you should fuck about with. I think if you have any issues within your head, you should probably get it checked. But obviously the waiting list is so long, and yeah, I may as well get on the waiting list anyway. But obviously I don't want to take it away from anyone that actually needs it. But then I'm like, do I need it or do I not need it? I don't even know, because I can't sleep properly because I've got headaches. And then it's like, why do we as women also just dismiss our own symptoms and say, oh no, it's fine? Because when I went to the A&E, like, because we were joking and having bants, I think part of me was like, oh no, like I'm probably just overthinking it. It's probably fine. Like I'm fine. I'm telling myself I'm fine. Like, but realistically, I feel like we as a country probably need to take our health more seriously, because I know other countries take it way more seriously and their healthcare is a lot better. Not slagging off the NHS, but I think as Britain, we don't really take things that seriously. It feels like anyway, in my own experience. And obviously, so grateful for free healthcare. Like, it's free, but it's in the name, it's free. So anyway, I'm not going to rant too much on about the NHS, because I know, like, my sister works in the NHS and she works her arse off, and, you know, I'm not going to slag it off. I'm probably just being overdramatic. I'm probably going to be fine in a few months. I'll be like, what the hell was that about? But yeah, after speaking to my dad, and I was telling my symptoms to him, he was like, that's kind of what I had. I was like, no. But then he was like, no, to be fair, Kori, like I had those symptoms, but they were a lot worse than what you were like. I couldn't even like move or survive. Like everything felt weird. I was like, oh, okay. But then I feel like I'm tricking myself into going insane. And let me talk about this for a second. Let me land. Like, I have never felt this intense fear about going insane in my life more than now. Like, I genuinely am terrified of driving myself crazy. Like, I feel like I'm going to turn into a crazy lady. And I'm like, am I having a manic episode? What is happening? And I don't think TikTok helps either, because I'm reading up on TikTok, all these things. I'm reading Google. Let's talk about Google. Oh my God. Every single night I Google my symptoms. Every night. And it does not do me justice, because I ended up calling 111 the other night. And I never do that. Never in my life have I called 111. I don't think my issues are that deep for me to call 111. You know, other people need it. I just realised you guys might not know what the service 111 is in the UK, but it's basically a part of the free healthcare service that we have in the UK. And it's like a non-emergency line. So we obviously have 999 and 111. 111 is kind of like, it's someone that picks up the phone, and obviously if you have any queries or concerns about your health, then they can answer or book you an emergency GP appointment or something like that. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I now have an intense fear of it because I don't know how people do it. Props to nurses, because that environment is not nice at all. Not nice. It might be different working it, to be fair, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm spiraling. I'm actually spiraling. I'm confused as to why I'm spiraling, but deep down, I think I know why. Call me crazy. I know I say call me crazy a lot because I am quite crazy. But stress brings on a lot of crazy stuff that you wouldn't imagine. And this is me telling myself, okay, this is why. I'm a pretty average person, so I'd like to think that this is the reason. I'm having issues with eating food. I'm having issues with cleanliness, making sure everything's clean so I don't get ill. I'm being a hypochondriac in so many different ways. Google is my best friend, but my enemy at this point. I'm searching for any answer on Google that may be the worst case scenario, but also the best case scenario. And it's like, I don't know why I do this to myself. Because like it leads me down a hole that I don't want to be in. And I'm like, oh, okay, I view the world completely different now, like as if I'm dying. And I know this is probably like such a maybe first world problem. I don't really know, but it's like, Kori, just chill the hell out. But I don't think living in London is doing me any justice. I really don't. I think London is stressing me the fuck out. I have been wanting to get out of London. I'm so grateful to be here. Don't get me wrong. So grateful. But I cannot hack the city life much longer. I can't. Get me in a field with cows, ground me with nature. I can't do it anymore, love. Get me out. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Quite frankly, I'd rather be in the Bush Tucker trials. I don't know what it is. I think I'm overstimulated. It's buses, it's noise, it's pollution, like just everything. And I was raised in the countryside. So, you know, I feel like I've done London for 3 and a bit years now. I'm ready to go. I think I've overdone it. It's an overkill. I think London is good in segments. I think it's good to have a break from London, but I think people that live in London, I feel like have a different view on it though. They think it's fine. They're just living life, which I wish I could do that. I just can't. I'm not built that way. Or it's either that, or it's the fact that I've suppressed a lot of my mental health issues over so many years. Like, I can't tell you what it is. No, I can't tell you what it is. I don't know what it is. And if anyone does know what it is, then let me know, because I cannot live like this much longer. And it's getting to the point where I was worried that something that was already cooked wasn't cooked and I had to cook it again. And it's like, normally, you know, it kind of was an issue before. I'm having trust issues with expiry dates. Even though it says it's going to expire in a week, I don't trust it. What is wrong with me? Before I didn't even check the date. I just ate it and I had a much better, happier life. Guys, TMI, I haven't gone to the toilet in ages. I don't know what is wrong with me. If I have to eat dates to go to the toilet. I feel like I've been talking really fast on this podcast. I'm just stressed. I'm really stressed. My boyfriend's on a lad's holiday right now. I've had to like deal with this whole head thing in my own head by myself. But if you've ever lived alone, or if you have a few nights by yourself, if your parents have gone out, whatever it is, why do I feel like I'm terrified if I pass out in the house, or if I get seriously ill, no one's here to help me. I may as well I'm going to die alone. I'm going to die here right now. Like, I don't know what it is about my head, but I just think the worst case scenario all the time. I'm always looking for the exit strategy. I'm always looking for, if this happens, okay, what about this? But I shouldn't be living in survival mode as much as I do. Like, it's draining. I'm tired. No wonder I'm exhausted. I don't actually know. I think I'm driving myself crazy. Like, this is actually too much for me to handle. Like, this is why I spend a lot of my days just on my bed on the sofa. Like, I don't leave the flat, because I'm like, if I go outside, it's just game over for me, because I'm going to look for every danger scenario. And I think living in London doesn't help either. I'd consider myself in a decent area, but recently, oh my God, guys, I got in between a fight the other day. I say in between, like I was like 10 foot away from it, but like still, I was just trying to walk my dogs, and it's like I can't do it. The one bit of peace that I get in my day, I can't, because someone's having a fight. Like, Yeah, I need to get to the countryside. But like also I love London in so many different ways. So it's hard. It really is. But yeah, I don't know if any of you really understood what I was saying. Was this just a crazy manic episode? Quite literally episode. Like, was I just talking absolute rubbish? Did you understand what I meant? Am I going crazy? I will never know. Because I don't even trust myself. I think that's partly it as well. I don't trust my own brain half the time. I just think what I'm thinking isn't even real. Like, am I even here? Am I even on Earth right now? Probably not. You know, someone else is controlling me. I don't know. I'm going crazy. I'm just going to leave it. I don't know if this has made you feel at peace, heard, or unsettled. But let me know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm alone in this, guys. I'm probably not. You know, it's probably a normal feeling, right? I don't know. But anyway, I'm also on my period. That could be partly it. I've been a bit crazy recently with my periods. And it's not like my periods have been bad. It's my emotions that have been awful around it. Like before my period, I basically just shouldn't be existing at that point. I'm basically not existing. Like I don't want to be here before my period. That's crazy. That's a crazy statement to say, Kori. Oh my God. That was a bit of a side note, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will catch you guys on Wednesday for another Wildcard Wednesday where I will select the theme, and my friend is calling me because it's her birthday. So I am going to go, and I love you and leave you. I'm going out tonight